All right, welcome to another Friday iVSA chart. Today we have a very special session for our graduates from our main course that we did on the November 15, 16, 17. So this is the one-day follow-up that we are doing today live at Tropicana City at CIMB Securities from 10 to 12 o'clock. Linda, you're in Sramban, right? You should be here. Okay, so today Bill is with me. We got a host about more than 15 people in the room in here. So let's see how many people in here. Hi, Mr. Wan. Okay, hi, Sun Cheng. Okay, yup. Okay, good. Today the agenda is going to be pretty short. We look at a couple of stocks. If you all have some stocks you want me to look at, so they are looking for you. Vinny here has it with me. Asked me to look at SHL, so I'll take a look at that using the iVSA. Also MyEg and Puncak. But then Bill is going to give you a short outlook with it. But shortly, I just want to talk about our new iVSA, new look site and the new layout. I think most of you have seen it. This is how it looks like, and I'll show you after Bill has sort of updated with you what he thinks about the outlook. Oh, Willow and insas. Okay, we were going to talk about insas and Willow anyway. Let me just put that in there too. Willow and insas. Okay. So before we go to iVSAchart, I'll bring Bill now, and he is happy enough to share with you just a quick outlook, about 5 minutes, what we think about it before we go on to the iVSAchart. All right, here you go, Bill.
Okay, speaking. Okay, welcome everybody who's come to our chart clinic this morning. This goes in my ear. Okay, can you guys hear me? You guys I know can, but what about the people who joined our webinar? Okay, I'll make this very brief, but I have something that might help you in moving forward in your investments. And something has happened, I would say, in the last few days, which should at least show you that the ringgit has stabilized. It's not weakening now. It's, in fact, strengthening a bit. It's reached a level where it is so grossly oversold that now professionals are coming back into the market and buying ringgits. And this actually should be benefiting our stock market, at least in the short term. So we brought up a chart this morning to show the ringgit for those guys who've been to our courses and understand the principles of volume spread analysis, the Wyckoff method, measuring supply and demand on the market. It shows how the market has had a very, very strong stage 2 markup. There was panic selling by large funds and institutions, selling the ringgit, selling Malaysian shares, and by proxy, selling the ringgit. So that caused the ringgit to weaken considerably. However, markets never go up forever. They never go in straight lines. They have corrections. They have consolidations. And what we're looking at right now is a classic signs of weakness of VSA, meaning hidden potential selling in a background of, I would say, stage 2 exhaustion. Market is exhausted, wide range bars. And now we're seeing upthrusts, which is a sign of weakness, SOW. We're seeing several no demand bars at the top of this rally. This is also signs of weakness. So we have a confluence or a synergy of several signs of weakness in terms of the ringgit. Actually, signs of strength. Currencies are just the opposite of a share. So when we see signs of weakness in this thing, it means that the ringgit will strengthen, at least consolidate or strengthen. It means there's no more sellers here. And we look for a drop back from the 350, now it's at 347 today, perhaps down to the 337, 338 to the US dollar. And that definitely will help the Malaysian market. And I did share this this morning, that there's several examples of currency weakness and stock market weakness. And the three were very simple. One was India. India, the currency had a dramatic drop and the stock market dropped. Then the rupiah recovered and the stock market recovered. The same happened in Indonesia and Philippines. Those markets in mid-2013 had massive drops, and the currency's weakening. However, all of them recovered. So in my opinion, it looks like Malaysia may have a bit of recovery if we see a strengthening of the ringgit. And based on our volume spread analysis and our chart, it does show that the ringgit may strengthen here, at least in the short term. Now, what is the background of this? The background is low interest rates in the U.S. And Janet Yellen laid a bombshell on the market the other day, and she caught all of the short sellers of the interest rate futures. They were slaughtered. They all had positioned themselves for interest rates going up. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. So that in itself should be positive for stock markets worldwide, at least for the next quarter. So having said that, we have a few shares to look at. Martin will go over that for you guys. So if you have any shares you want us to look at, please forward that. Okay, Martin?
All right, that was Bill with just a quick update. Now, I just want to show you now is our new iVSAchart login in here. I think most of you has gone live last week. So now you cannot access the chart unless to log in. So you just need to sign up here. Currently, it's still free sign up. Come next year, we're going to be doing some billing. So in here, you can see, you can log in. Then you can remember the password. Once you log in, right, you'll get to this screen. Let me try that again. Okay. Now notice once you log in, you will see above here, it will be welcome Martin. Then there's your quick profile. You can change your password here. And there's also a member profile. You can change some of the names. But I don't think you can change your email. I think that's the most important one. So you just go on to, now in iVSA in here, because of the Pro version that you have, you get all four screener. Tawa is something we teach in the fundamental. Line change is the weekly line change, and 18-day line change is. So the question is, as you go further down in here, the filter gets better. Okay, you can see here the Tawa filter. We have this one here, should comes out, and you get more in here. So there's a lot of stocks you have to. If you go right at the bottom, right, you're going to be seeing, wow, that's almost 197. That's a lot of work to do, because that is for the light version. Light version will only get the Tawa Pro. Now, if you go on to the what that we teach, the 5-day line change, this is the one that you will see less. Okay, you get about 48. And then if you go on, so it gets better. You go to 18-day line change, you will even see less. Only 5. So what it does is actually narrow down for you. So you save time from scanning and looking at only the best of the best. All right, let's look at, so that's the whole purpose of the iVSA. Of course, there's a lot of reasoning behind that. And there's also tests, which is one of the filter. You could see we have about 22 scanner in here. Some of these things that we talk about, but I'm not going to go into detail because that would be unfair to our graduates here. But just to show you the power that we have, and in the coming months, we will be releasing video for those of you who will be subscribing to the iVSAchart on how to use some of these tools that we have. Definitely save you time and look for the next stocks. One of the stocks I'll be talking about was Carex, which I actually went in yesterday. But more about that later. But right now, I just want to show you some of the other things. We are coming also out with the intelligent portfolio. So once you have it in there, you can mark the portfolio, and we will have the ATR stop loss to inform you if you hit the stop loss or not. So that's under a portfolio. Intelligent will tell you a stop loss and also calculates profit and loss. So those are the things that we are working out now, and also a watch list. Having said that, which means you can actually transfer your watch list that you hear into a watch list, and eventually a watch list, if you do buy it, it becomes a portfolio. So from a portfolio, you have the ATR stops that actually helps you to tell you where your stop loss is. So imagine if the current price is below the ATR stop, it will be a big alert to you to cut loss. So that way it will inform you. by logging. Now, one thing beauty about this, you can also log in using your phones, your tablets, and so you always carry this around and you don't need to have a desktop. So those are the three major components in here. But very quickly now, we can do a lot. After this session over, of course, not for you guys because we're only keeping the iVSAchart in here only to 25 minutes. But later on, we'll use the iVSA Pro Screener, especially the 18-day line change, to look at some stocks. Now remember, those of you who is on the Pro subscriber will get the line change. Only the light one will only get the Tawa Pro. Okay, so let's go back to iVSAchart and look at some of the stocks that we were talking about. Okay, now this is, you can see Maybank has a 2-bar reversal in here. You can see there's a 2bar reversal. That's strength, and there's a sell-off in here. But now, let's look at SHL first. Okay, SHL consolidated, which is one of the now SHL, like it or not, currently it has sort of broken down. What we have in here, we have a sell-off. We got a couple of nice tests in here. Now remember, graduates, when there's a test needs to be confirmed. What happens if the test is broken down? It's a failed test, right? It's a failed test. Support could not make it, and it broke below 3 ringgit 10 cents here. You can see it here, 3 ringgit 10 cents here, and then eventually, but you will always have the ATR stop loss. You can switch that one on, click the update. Right, you can see the stop loss was actually here at 350, right? So if you broke down, you could have got out 340 and not to suffer this drawdown to 280. 340, 280, that's how much? 60 cents. 60 cents, 340, how much percent is that? 20%. Very painful one, no? 20%. 20% very painful one, no? Okay, so moving forward, how would you say if you want to buy SHL consolidation here? What are the things that you have to look for on the chart? Like we want to see what? Some green arrow coming out, right? Some setup, right? Those are the things we will talk about in our cash income method when we finish this one here. So SHL now is definitely a no-no. Definitely a no-no in here. We don't even have any stars at all. No sign of strength. This was a test. SO is a sell-off or what we call an 18-day line change breakdown here. Okay. Next one we have is on the list is MYEG. MYEG holding very well actually. As a matter of fact, it's one of the, I would say, the best performer in this sell-off that we have, other than some rubber glove. Okay, MYEG. Okay, MYEG. Click on that one. Now, MYGG, if you look at the fundamental data, which is updated on a monthly basis in here, this is what I really don't like. Look at the PE. All right, the PE here is 46 to 47 times. Very, very expensive. All right, and the return of equity is about 32%. Maybe that's what it is considered one of the best growth. But having said that, it didn't have any sell-off until we have this drop just the last 3 days. Since then, market pull back up again. Look at that, there's a test here. So once the test is confirmed, this one can go higher. As I said before, one of your best bet. But again, you're perhaps buying a slightly more expensive stock of the PE again, right? Partly for trading, we're almost there. But then again, if you're trading, use a line change, use the 18-day line change filter. You'll find many stocks which we'll do afterwards. This session when we're doing it here in Tropicana CIMB. That's one of the things that we do here. So MYEG currently, it hits a stop loss again, right? Broke down, but came back up nicely. It does that many times. It washes you, say, come back up again. If you look in scheme of things, like this, we have a triple top. Maybe perhaps if we do break down 390 again, we might say that this is the beginning of a stage 4 pure markup stage here. And notice here, the zone here, what the region zone, it is bearish or bullish? It is bearish. That's correct. So that's also another sign in here. We might want to be buying when it's turning greenish. So at least we have the trend goes with us. Okay. The whole point is to have the trend. Ride the trend, my friend. Trend is your friend. Okay. Now a lot of people ask me, how do you trade in times like this when the trend is downwards? Now my guess is that if you have any trades, just take 10% because you're fighting the trend. Right? If you have anything, 10% from where? 10% not from your price, no. 10% from the support. No, right? You may buy support and then the market goes higher like 20%, but you won't take 10% because sometimes you guys have to pick your. Remember on the yesterday one of the posting, I'm looking for buying setup. It's very difficult to find buying setup. Why is Papa John calling me? Okay, so we are looking for setup. Very important is look for setup. I know a lot of you are very, very cautious about this market is going down, but is there a setup? Right? Remember, we talked about the setup in our course. Look for the setup first. There isn't any setup. Why should you buy? If you're buying without a setup, what happens to your trade? What happened to your trade? You're fighting your odds. So always look for the setup. I will show you one that we look at, have a nice setup, which was Carex. Okay, and a few things that we do. So this was MyEg. Currently, MyEg don't have a setup. Now remember, if you just simply buying here and there, you will make money if you're lucky. But if you don't have the setup, the condition, first of all, we talk about the green bearish, the green bullish region has to be there, right? Do I say this makes sense? Right? You need to have the setup. If you don't have the setup, then you're just buying blindly. All right. So I hope the audience who's listening on the webinar understands that. Now let's look at Puncak now. You can use the iVSAchart to make an assessment whether you should hold it or not, simply by looking at that. If you have bought it somewhere around 330, maybe it's time to take some profit. If the market do break higher, 440, you might want to take some profit. Let's look at Puncak next. Okay, now Puncak has a line change here, a 5-day line change broken down below here, very massive in here. Now again, for quick profit, yes, you can buy into it, perhaps take a 10% kind of arrangement in here. Okay, 10% from maybe around 240 here, right? That will be around what 260 in here, and try to push up maybe another 10% if you can. So there's not much in the trend in here because the market might turn back. But what I have wrote this morning on the for my opening is that I think the year-end rally is here. Okay, because with the interest rate being permanently sealed, that no interest rate being very accommodating, as Yannick Lang said on his US FOMC, and also what Bill said on the interest rate, I do think we will have a rally. Not much today. Next week is already Christmas, so that's about it to the year end. And then perhaps come first week of New Year, we might see a bit of sell-off. The rally was happening because we do see a lot of fund manager. AirAsia not moving. Yeah, of course. What? Because the fuel oil prices because everybody turned their attention to everything else. But again, what do you look at? Look at the trend, okay? Because some of you may have sort of a bit of here, a bit of there, but not coming to a course, not understanding a lot of questions. So that makes a bit tough. Okay, I'll also look at AirAsia. Now, before we do that, let's look at it. Now, look at the iVSA, look at the trend. Okay, Willow. Let's look at Willow next. Now, again, a lot of these stocks are, remember, small cap stocks started the year with 14,220. Now, if you look back now, where is small cap now? Okay, small cap is 14,690, right? So we only up, it was only up the last 2 or 3 days. We went up as high as 17,000 and the market crashed down. So I know many of you are trading the small cap stock, so you really taken a hammer. And if you're trading small cap stock, you cannot afford not to cut loss. That's the bottom line is, because when the market comes down, it's going to do a big toll, and that's what, no surprise, a lot of people is asking me why should I hold on or not. Now going forward, the small cap stock may not recover and come back. So that's what you have to be very, very candid to say. What's that word? Candidacy. Say if you have to cut, you have to cut. It's like a cancer, right? When it comes to small cap stock, you have no choice. Okay. Yes, the gains are big, but when it fall, also it fall the other way. The problem is a lot of people sometimes treat the small cap stock like they treat. VTROX is moving up. Yeah, everything's moving up now, right? Okay. Let's look at the next one. This one in here, it broken down the stop loss here at 72 cents in here. It might go back to 74 cents, but there's a long wait in here. Now remember, losses are not. That's why when you trade, remember when you trade, you must honor your stop loss. Remember we talk about the trading plans and things like that. That's what in iVSA we always have this built-in stop loss ATR. it always tells you when to cut. I mean, assuming for this case, Willow Gen, right? At least 82 cents you should have cut. You know, if you've gone in here and not be, remember, when we talk about in our cash income method, you only want to be buying when it's above the ATR stop loss, right? So those are the things we will talk about. So for some of you who hear a bit of here, not coming to a course, so you're not getting the full picture. So that's why we always recommend for some of our premium members to come to attend our courses. At least you see the full picture, and then it's like seeing Avatar, as I said before. When you switch off the volume or the audio of Avatar, do you see the complete picture? No, I tell you, Avatar is one of the greatest movie I've seen before, with all the computer design when it came up with the CGI. But if you turn off your volume, it's the same thing, right? Inari also go on. Yeah, everything is good. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, everything is up now. All right. The key thing is that did you buy yesterday, or are you willing to buy? A lot of people ask me, can I buy now? I said, can buy if your setup is there. But people say market going down. So should I do? That's just the whole point. The question is, you have to follow your rules. You shouldn't be listening to people. If you listen to me, Bill, and Mike, we ask you to hold on for some of the fundamental and quality stocks. So ask yourself, what are your buying criteria? If you're just going to be running around like a headless chicken listening to people, I tell you, you're going to lose money. You got to have a conviction where you want to be buying and looking at the strength and signs of weakness to tell you that. Okay, certainly Willow MSCI has broke down, and no need to say like everything also broke down. If you buy yesterday, you will be making money lah, be laughing all the way lah, right? So having said that, if I look in this thing, making money is very easy, to be frank with you, but the more important part is the risk management side, right? Risk management is very important. Because when the market turns the other side, how soon can you cut loss? How soon can you take profit? Because when the market is up, you can simply buy and make money. But risk management is most important. So having said that, if you're going to be in this market for the next 2, 3, 4, or 5 years, isn't it important for you to look at risk management? Right? All fund managers like myself and Bill, we always look at risk management. We know if the market is going to be trending up, you will definitely make money. But the question is, the risk management. But also don't forget, a lot of people always mistaken a stop loss for trading and also for investing. Investing, like it or not, you have to be based on your valuation. We don't cover that on our course because value investing is what we do to sort of manage our portfolio on the longer run. Because if you look at in the scheme of all things, stocks, eventually, if you buy good quality stocks with low debts and good ROE, in this case, if you look at Willow Gen MSCI, it does pay a very nice 2.6% dividend, a ROE of 24%, which is very good for a small cap stock and has a PE of 10 times. That's certainly good. I will be buying. Right? So that is another, for trading wise, maybe not, you want to look for the trading. So a lot of people tend to confuse trading and investing. Be absolutely clear in what you do. If you clear in what you do, money will come to you. Right? Does that say that make sense? Right? Okay. Now let's look at another stock, which is insas. Now remember, insas is a big shareholder of Inari Emetron. Okay. Okay, let me just update this again. Got an error message here. Okay, we're just waiting for the chart to update. My internet access here using my LTE is a bit slow, so just bear with me for a while. Is my sound coming in okay? Just want to do a sound check. Okay, so just want to do a sound check, please. Okay, good. All right, fine, that's right. All right, thanks, Fu. Still waiting. Okay, sounds is good. All right, thanks a lot, Carol. Yeah, back. Insas 3379. Now, this is one of the trade that I have too. Right. There was a nice setup bar. We will talk about this, okay, afterwards, because this was one of the stocks. Now, again, insas are also broke at 110 in here. Cabut lah, and don't have to go through this whole thing in here. All right. Sometimes when I say the stock will buy, got stop loss one, no. This is the ATR stop loss. That's why we build it into the system. If you didn't stop loss, then you do what I like one of our today, session. Yeah, Carol, come over to CIMB in Tropicana if you're around. I know you live in PJ. Okay, we'll still be here until 3 o'clock. So that's the one I like. One of our graduate here, Tan. He gives a stop loss and profit taking to his spouse, and I recommend that. That's the best way of doing it. So. So this again, insas is still in the downtrend. Is it a time to buy? Again, I prefer to look for my setup. If there's no setup in here, then you just have to be very careful what you're buying. Okay. So that's all I have from for the stocks. I think I've done the cover of the stocks, and it's almost time up for Friday iVSAchart. So for that, I will close the session in here iVSAchart, and I'll see you this evening. Oh no, there won't be any Friday closing bell because we'll finish here about 3-4 o'clock. So I'll be doing a recorded closing bell, and I'll be sending out the recording to you this evening. Okay. With that, I sign off from our Friday iVSAchart. And make sure you log into iVSAchart and use the iVSA plus the Pro Screener while it is still a free trial now. Okay? Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Wait, and okay, I stop my recording.